Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone that finds this video is being productive. Today is more of a general lesson on just good principles of writing. So whether you're in AP Lit or you're in AP Seminar, this is a great lesson for how to make your writing better. And any kind of argumentation is made stronger by concessions and refutations. So concessions and refutations, the first thing we have to identify is what a concession is. A concession is where, when you hear the other side's argument, you acknowledge their argument. It's an acknowledgement that the other side has a point. That's an important step in good argumentation. However, the refutation is the part where you, just like it says here at the top, you have the counter-argument and the counter-argument. So your refutation is the way of looking at the other person's argument and then pointing out perhaps a flaw in that argument or why your argument matters more. So this is an activity I do I meant to do an AP seminar, but gosh darn it, there wasn't time. And we've got a very generic prompt here, and I'm trying to make this generic enough for either AP Lit or AP Seminar or anybody else that may find this video. So let's we've got an imaginary prompt here. So several studies have shown that teenage girls perform much better academically in all girls' schools. Teenage boys perform slightly better in all boys' schools. In order to increase achievement in a federal way, the school board is now considering splitting the sexes in high school by making Decatur High School a boys only and turning federal way. Now they're not really doing this. This is just for argument's sake. So your first step is to take a position. Start with your argument. So this is a good idea. This is not a good idea, and then 3 reasons why. This is something that I introduced in AP Seminar, and so just for the heck of it, for argument's sake. Let's see, schools should remain co-ed. So that's my position, let's say, and then my reasons are this is what many workplaces look like. We're doing this fast because my videos are getting too long. Workplaces look like. Boys and girls need to learn how to work together. And then what's another reason why schools should remain co-ed? It'd be expensive to switch. Without much benefit. What the hell is going on here? No? No? Get out of there. What the hell's going on? Alright. Technical difficulties here. I don't know why that blue guy showed up. We're going to add notes. Without much benefit. Now, of course, I'm going to need evidence for all of this, but for right now, we're talking about reasoning. We're talking about lines of reasoning. So, when establishing a line of reasoning, these are my subclaims. So, school should remain co-ed is my main claim. These are my subclaims. And what unites all of these are these two are the positive outcomes of co-ed education, and the final one is a consequence of going the other way. So what establishes the line of reasoning is these are the likely outcomes. So thinking about an AP seminar, that second question on an EOC, identify the claims in an article and establish a line of reasoning. These are all outcomes. What links these claims together is these are outcomes should this occur. Sometimes other things that create lines of reasoning are sometimes it's causes. These are causes. Sometimes it's effects. So be thinking about warrants. You're thinking about warrants. Warrants are the assumptions on which your arguments rest. So I'm assuming that people would agree with these things. I'm assuming that workplaces are co-ed. Workplaces are men and women. I'm assuming that it's good that boys and girls need to learn to work together because of that. I'm also assuming that people don't like to pay a lot of money when there won't be very much benefit. So being aware of how your argument is put together is really important. So in this case, I've cited outcomes. These are the outcomes of school remaining co-ed. That's my line of reasoning. And with this one being a bit of a warning why you shouldn't do it. So if you're laying out your paragraphs, this is body paragraph 1, this is body paragraph 2, this becomes body paragraph 3. However, what you need in any good argument are concessions and refutations. All right, today we're going to be learning how to write concessions and refutations. So remember, this is a way to win an argument by admitting that the other side has a point. Especially now, a lot of discussions now about what is the right way to be addressing the current coronavirus crisis, what's the wrong way. This is kind of a way to take the heat off that argument. Lots of conversations probably going around people's dinner tables right now about this. So there's two types. You point out that their point is either wrong or outweighed by more important things. This is the refutation. Now remember, wrong, that doesn't mean they're stupid. Wrong does not mean stupid. Wrong could just mean they don't have the right information. This is so important, especially now, and it's important in any paper, that your refutation, your concession is, well, you have a point, but you're stupid. That's not a very good refutation. All right, so the other side's ideas. How do we figure out the other side's ideas? Simple. You do a thesis plus 3 for the other side of the argument. Start with a strong thesis that goes against what you actually believe, then come up with 3 strong reasons why someone on the other side might support it. So yes, I'm reading a script here because I don't want to bird walk too much because I'm trying to keep this video short. So we're going to try it here. So now I'm going to take the opposite side, why we shouldn't split, or why we should split. Schools should not be co-ed. Is there a hyphen there? I don't know. All right, so schools should not be co-ed. Most likely reason, boys and girls focus better when separated. Now, why are we doing this prompt? Because I needed a generic prompt that I can demonstrate to everybody on how to do this. And you're like, you might be thinking, but geez, my prompt has to do with happiness and meaning of life. This looks so simple when you're doing this thing. What about happiness and meaning of life? Well, that becomes a more difficult lesson, but the same rules will apply. Boys and girls focus better when separated. Let's see. Education can be more uniquely tailored. Oh, that's a good word. This is where I misspell things, and it's on video. Tailored to individual needs. Like I said, this was a lesson that I meant to do with my AP seminar kids before the unpleasantness. And then the third reason, I mean, what do you think the third reason to split boys and girls up? Fewer discipline problems, right? All right, so again, my line of reasoning, these are likely outcomes. These are likely outcomes. So if you're doing that second question on what are the author's lines of reasoning, the line of reasoning is these are outcomes of schools not being co-ed. And remember, lines of reasoning can be causes, they can be effects, they can be outcomes, they can be positives, they can be negatives. Specifically identifying that line of reasoning using that specific word is really important on that second question. Hopefully you guys know what I'm referring to. That's on that EOC. You read the article, you answer the 3 questions. Line of reasoning is really important. Line of reasoning is also important in AP Lit. You are establishing a line of reasoning when you write, particularly on question 3. What is your line of reasoning? Are you saying that, if we're switching to the AP Lit side, are you saying that the evidence you cite are outcomes of the theme you're discussing? They're effects of the theme you're discussing. They're causes of the theme you're discussing. They reveal. These are all revelations of the theme you're discussing. So understanding how that line of reasoning works is really important. So anyway, moving on. So I'm really trying to keep this brief, but it probably won't be. So the next thing we do is you match up your reasons to the other side's reasons. By the way, this particular packet, if anybody's interested, I can email it to you. That's pretty simple. I'm still kind of figuring out Canvas. Canvas is frightening to me. It looks really complicated. I mean, I just don't know what to do with Canvas. I meant to learn it. I was gonna do Google Classroom this year, but they took it away. That looked complicated too. All right. Anyway, we're just doing the best we can. All right, but I can email this if anybody reaches out. All right, so match up your reasons to the other side's reasons. And so here's an example. And the prompt is simple. Should our school have a country music dance? So look, our school should not have. So wait, he switched. We were talking about same-sex education. Now we're talking about this. This is just an example for the example. So notice how these things match up. Now notice that these reasons don't line up, but that's okay. You have to take a moment and think about which reason on our side is the best one to knock out a reason on the other side. So we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to do it. Our students don't enjoy country music versus country music allows for fun dancing in a non-sexual manner. That scares the hell out of adults. Ooh, I said hell on a school video. District overlords aren't going to like that. But hey, and they're doing the best they can right now. So they're getting some heat, but the schools really are doing the best they can right now. All right. So they really are. All right, so let's give them some love. Our students don't know how to dance to country music. First, the students dance sexually to hip-hop. Nobody would buy tickets, and ASB would lose money, versus schools are not allowed to let students dance sexually at school-sponsored events. So you notice how it doesn't really matter if it allows for fun dancing if they don't like the music. Our students don't even know how to dance to country music. versus students dance sexually to hip-hop. So they wouldn't. So these things become irrelevant when you look at these. So nobody would buy tickets. Schools are not allowed to let students dance sexually at school-sponsored events. This becomes irrelevant when you look at these reasons, and that's what you're trying to do. All right, so let's try here. You're going to match up your reasons from today's prompt, the other side. Be sure to match them up so your reasons come out on top. So I'm going to pick my first reason is this is what many workplaces look like. So this is what they look like. This is what many workplaces look like. Versus, exclamation point for emphasis, boys and girls focus better when separated. This is going to be a long video, and I don't want it to be. All right, boys and girls work better when separated. You see how, okay, so if you're claiming they work better when separated, that hardly matters when you consider that in the future they're going to have to learn to work together. See? All right. Boys, let's see. Education can be more uniquely tailored to individual needs versus boys and girls need to learn to work together. So, oh, this should be separated. This should be switched. I did that wrong. Let's see. Education. Can be uniquely tailored. Education can be uniquely tailored versus they need to learn to work together. All right, so I really need to stop doing that. All right, so they need to learn to work together, and you get the idea. You get the idea. So you're trying to match up your reasons. So their statement is they work better when separated versus this is what many workplaces look like. Many workplaces are co-ed, so that hardly matters. They need to learn to work together. Education can be uniquely tailored. Yes, but this is the more important lesson than individually tailoring. That's what you're trying to establish. All right, so there's two ways to go about it. Use one of these when the other side's reasons are true but not as important. Many will point out, however, so these are your discourse markers. So these are your discourse markers. Remember, discourse markers tell the reader what's going on in your paper and tells the reader where we are in your paper. It lets us know. So many will point out. However, that hardly matters when one considers that. My reason. Supporters of the other side will point out that while this may be true, it doesn't change the fact that. This is such a good one. This is such a good way to go about it because you're acknowledging the other side does have a point, and you're not attacking them, which is really important. You're saying that is so true. However, it doesn't change this. And then it may be true that said, the fact that clearly outweighs this. These are also really nice. These are really nice ways to argue that acknowledge the other side. All right, so now some of you that are a little more aggressive. This is when sometimes you hear things that are just patently not true. Unfortunately, many people believe that. And then, so you got to be careful with that word, because as soon as you use a word like unfortunately, it's loaded. You're basically saying, unfortunately, those people are stupid. So you need to use that one kind of sparingly. Many people believe that. The facts, however, show that this is not true, because your reason. Supporters of will claim that this is simply not true because. Opponents of my thesis often claim that. However, anyone really looking at this issue can see this is false because. Again, you want to be careful with that, because only idiots believe this. So as soon as you resort to attacking the other side, you're not arguing anymore. You're just bickering, and you don't want that. So I hope this gives you. You could screenshot this, or I can send this packet to you if you email me. If you happen to see this video, I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put a link in my @Dicus11 Twitter, which doesn't look like a lot of you even look at that. You like my other Twitter better. I don't know, but anyway, I'll put it there. I'll also put the link to this video on Remind, and I'll also email you this link via Turnitin, because this is such a good. Maybe I'll attach. That's what I'll do. I'll attach this for you guys and email it to you, because I think it'd be very useful for your papers. Kind of stream of consciousness here. But anyway, that's kind of how it works. This is an important page, and so these are the two ways to go about making a concession and a refutation. I hope everybody found this video useful, that comes across it, and hope you're enjoying them. I enjoy making them, and it helps. I said this in other videos. I probably just say it too much. It gives a little bit of normalcy to my day, a little bit of structure. Having a little bit of structure to your day is important. All right, well, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Hope this video wasn't too long, and I love you guys, and hope to see you soon. Cheers.